In addition to direct mail, a great way to market to owners that could potentially sell you a multifamily deal is cold calling these owners. So you're going to use the same list that you built already. So this is the list with all the properties in the area that meet your criteria, the ones that you're going to be direct mailing to as well. And then now you're going to take that same list and cold call the owners of the property instead of sending them a letter or a postcard. Um, so what you'll need is you'll need a list with phone numbers for the owners. And skip tracing is how you do that. So you can do that for yourself. There's lots of online white pages, True People Search, FastPeopleSearch.com, where you can Google the owner's name and try to get the right phone number for them. Or you can outsource it. There's some places that'll do that for you. reiskip.com, batchskiptracing.com. If you upload a list, they will actually skip trace those owners and business entities for you. Or you could hire somebody like a virtual assistant from Upwork.com or one of the other sites to do that for you that has experience doing that and looking up the numbers. So they'll use some of those same programs, but they'll be doing the work instead of you, and then you'll just be paying them. If you get your list from pinpointskip.com, which is the one I use to pull my list now, they'll already come skip trace, which saves you a step. So you'll basically get your list, and then it'll have multiple phone numbers that are tied to that person's name, and then you basically have to go through those numbers and call the person. So when you're calling them, or you get a lead from direct mail, let's say you do get a lead from direct mail, the first things you got to do is thank them for reaching out. You need to know what is their motivation for calling. So, hey, I'm looking to sell this property, or hey, I was just kind of seeing what kind of the options were. I have this or that problem with the property. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can't. But whenever you're on a call with an owner, whether it's a lead coming in from direct mail or someone that you're cold calling, you want to get the property details if the owner has some interest. So you want to get the unit count. You should already have that on your list, but you want to confirm that with them because sometimes the lists are off a little bit. Maybe it'll have 4 units on your list, but it'll actually be a 5-unit property. Maybe they added something. It's not on the record. You want to get a bedroom count for each of those units. So maybe we got 3 2-bedrooms, 2 2-bedrooms. You need to know that. The rents that are there currently, if they can provide you with that, what are the rents? Any expense information. This will be usually a little bit harder to get, but sometimes if the owners are motivated enough, they'll provide this for you. This might be something that you have to get and calculate yourself, which we kind of touched on in analyzing a deal. But any information that they'll provide you on expenses, whether it's taxes, insurance, maintenance costs, any of that kind of stuff, utility costs is also really great. Get that if you can. And then just any other details on the property. Hey, what condition it's in? Is there any issues that have come up at the property lately? How's the roof? How's the HVAC system? That kind of stuff that you want to gather. You basically want to gather as much data as you can, because when you give them, your follow-up call with, where you would be as far as range or a price, the more information you have, the better you can be, the more accurate you can be with your price, and know you're going to get a good deal if they do want to agree to that price. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to pitch yourself a little bit. Why should they work with you? What do you bring to the table as far as making it simple, quick close, cash only sale, that kind of stuff. What makes you stand out? Why should they sell to you if they have 2 or 3 other people that they're calling? And then schedule a follow-up call, basically that you're going to get back in touch with them. Here's your number. I prefer to do this within 24 to 48 hours. The longer you go, the more risk of them just moving on, going with somebody else, that kind of stuff. So schedule a follow-up call, confirm it with them. So when you're cold calling and not just receiving an inbound call from one of your, say, direct mail letters, you'll use that same list, the skip trace list. You'll go down the phone numbers because some owners will have a couple phone numbers attached to their name. You'll go down if you got a correct phone number, then you'll basically highlight that one green. This is the good one, or check it off, whatever you want to do. So when you call back on your next round, you don't have to go through all the phone numbers. You know the one that works. But when you're cold calling people, you want to apologize up front. You're calling them out of the blue, so it's good to kind of let their guard down by apologizing up front for reaching out. Hey, I'm sorry for just calling you out of the blue. This is why I'm calling. Who I am. Explain to them. Hey, I'm an investor from Harrisburg, PA. Yada yada. I'm looking for properties similar to your property at 231 Leaf Street or whatever it is. And then just ask it, are you interested? Do you have any interest in selling? If yes, why? Do you have a main issue at the property? The more information they can give you here, the better, because some owners will actually spill their kind of guts and give you more than they should probably give you. So if you're ever in a situation, they start going off on a tangent about why they want to sell the property or what issue is with the property, just let them talk, just let them go. They'll give you, more details and clue you in on stuff that you might not get normally. And like I said earlier, you want to get the property details, unit count, rents, any expenses that you can get. And then if you can probe for a price, that's also good. Hey, is there a range that makes sense for you, that you'd be happy with parting with this property? That way I know, where I need to get to in price to make a deal. If they do say no right off the bat, do you think there'll be any interest in the future? What if I call you back in 3 months from now? Is that maybe going to be a better time? And do you mind if I follow up with you on that? You'll get a lot of angry no's, but just don't worry about it. Just move on to the next one. But if you can get them to say, yeah, follow up in a month, 3 months, whatever it is, you definitely want to take a note of that and make sure you're following up, because that's some sort of motivation there, but maybe the timing's just not right. So make sure you're putting that in your skip trace list so you know when to follow up with that specific owner. And this is a great quote. Today I'll do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't. So this is a good reference to cold calling, because there's going to be a lot of investors that don't want to call people because just cold calling people out of the blue is not fun. But that's going to limit your competition when you're calling people. You got a better chance for getting deals, and that's why it's going to work, because there's other people that won't do it. And there'll be a lot of other people that will do the direct mail but won't do the cold calling. So you doing the cold calling, your competition's a lot lower. So there's a better chance for getting deals that way. And I know when I do the direct mail and cold calling, what I kind of set up is every month I have the direct mail going out. So at the beginning of the month, and then the second half of the month, I'll go through my list and cold call those owners. So that's kind of my setup. Beginning of the month, mail out, give them time to kind of get it, respond, and then the back half of the month, do my cold calling, and then just do that every month. So find what works for you, but make sure you're cold calling, because you can find a lot of great deals this way.